Who even has a 9-volt battery in 2021? It has been an interesting week in gold and silver. With gold, we've got two very different stories right now. The first is that inventory has been hard to come by. And if there's one thing we're all spoiled on, it's just how easy it is to find whatever gold coins we want to buy. Availability typically is not the issue. But starting a few weeks ago, local coin shops began to sell out entirely. Even the broker that I knew couldn't get an order filled. And then pretty much anything I was interested in went out of stock or got pushed out as a pre-order online. Now, the dealers I've talked to have said they've never seen a month like January before, and that's coming off of a year of really wild demand. The U.S. Mint sold 5.5 times as many ounces of gold eagles in 2020 as it did in 2019. Just to try to put that into perspective, the silver demand doubled, and again, at the same time, the gold demand went up 5.5 times. The other story is price, and if you've been paying attention to spot prices, you know exactly what I mean. The price of gold just dropped below 2-month lows. And rather than try to get technical with you and read back some article that I just found on the internet, it's simple. The economic signals look good. Traders are jumping back into higher yielding assets. Now, good economic signals, that's relative, of course. I don't need to remind anyone why they look good. It's because of massive fiscal spending. Now, the notable thing here is that historic demand and dropping prices don't normally go together. And if you ignore why trading flow might look to higher yielding assets entirely and just look at what it might mean to the typical person buying physical gold, lower prices always seem to have a weird effect. Interest tends to decrease as prices drop. People simply feel less pressure to buy. It's the opposite of what you normally think would happen. And I wonder how quickly that will change things for both inventory and availability, maybe even premiums. Now, I've already started to see some inventory coming back slowly. It's there. It might not be exactly what you want, but you can probably get close. Not locally, probably not quickly, and probably for about 1% higher premium today than you were seeing 3 weeks ago. So if you're just coming here to see the coins, I did pick something up. Right at the start of the inventory shortages, I was looking for something different, and if you're on the Discord server, you probably know the backstory. But my plan was to put up a few options in a poll and let you all pick what you'd like to see next. So taking out the US Mint coins that I couldn't find anyway, and then the Maples and the Britannias that I already have, the only coins I could really find at the time were Perth Mint kangaroos. So here's what I grabbed. Actually, wait, hold on, let me get this on a spinner. So the Perth Mint does a fantastic job on their gold coins. I love the matte finish field, and I've never seen a single flaw on anything that I've ever gotten from them. But I can't really say I've ever really liked the kangaroos. So I got a 2020 Swan instead. Actually, I don't really have anything against the kangaroo, and the 2021 looks really nice, but the Swan was just one of those standout coins from last year that I felt like I really wanted, but I just didn't pick up. And I like the idea of having things in pairs in case I get hit by a bus. Makes it easier to divide things out for my kids. I'm kidding, of course, kind of, but I do buy with the primary goal of handing most of it down, and I have the Pearls of Wisdom Double Dragon, and this is kind of a complimentary coin. Now, the eagles that I talk about, I buy more for savings that I might actually use at some point, and I'm not sure that I've ever really explained this before because I started making videos at a time when spot was making big jumps, but in times of lower spot price, I really do try to sock away a fair amount of gold, and when I'm buying in higher frequency, it's more important to me that it's uniform. That just makes it easier to sell if I decide to do that. It makes it easier to know where I'm at. Honestly, the coins that I'm typically showing on YouTube, they're harder for me to keep track of. I find myself constantly counting them in my head over and over. I've got 4 Maples and 1 Proof Buffalo, 1 Britannia, etc., rather than I have 20 Eagles or however many I have. Anyway, I think we have some interesting times ahead of us for spot price. We are looking at opposite signals for supply and demand. We're also looking at opposite signals for price and value. It just seems like inverse waves that haven't figured out where they want to come together. Now, I'm not going to get into the technical analysis because, again, nobody knows what's going on at the moment. But we do know from recent demand and lack of inventory that a lot of people were buying when spot was 5% higher just a few weeks ago. This is just a really good example, maybe, of why not to listen to channels telling you that a metal is about to surge 500% or more. I've been pretty frustrated this last week just kind of watching all the videos that are coming out. I wish we could just delete them all from our brains. If nothing else though, it's a good time to consider your overall strategy, whether you're buying metals on speculation or whether you're buying them as savings. Because the reason you're buying affects what you're buying and when you're buying. And personally, since most of what I'm doing is for long-term savings, I kind of like the lower prices. And maybe we should switch back to a spinning gold coin here for a minute. Now, I didn't have a lot of luck with the GameStop, Nokia, AMC, etc., the short squeeze tricks, but I've done just fine with gold, and I think it's a good reminder that gold is an entirely different kind of purchase. It's also fun to look at. So if you're wondering how prices can be dropping so soon after hearing that the price of silver might be going to the moon or running into a situation where you just can't even find any inventory, it's probably just best to realize that sometimes things just don't make sense. I think the different forces of historic demand on gold and 2-month lows in prices will probably balance each other out over the next week or so. Prices will probably balance, inventory will get back to normal. If you have thoughts, let me know in the comments. I'm going to leave another link to the Discord server as well if you'd like to check that out. And be sure to hit the like button if you like spinning gold coins. Thanks again for watching. I hope you're well. Take care.